Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sith and Bricks.
Builders, raise the lightsabers!
And we're live.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are back, and we have been away for a little while.
Indeed, we have been away for far too long, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I know this has been delayed for a while, but we are finally here. We have returned.
yeah, and we've got some updates for you. We've got some mocks for you. We've got a winner
Some
announcement.
news.
Hello, Duplo. We see you. Hello, hello, hello. And yeah, let's kick this thing off here. And as we get started, because of rules on YouTube and us not wanting to get blocked, demonetized, or get a check mark, I have to read this disclaimer. During this episode, we'll be commenting on some of the COVID-19 policies in place at Disney parks during the time of our visit. These comments are our opinions on those policies, and in no way are we offering medical advice. We are not doctors, and we do not play one on TV. Should you have questions regarding COVID-19 treatments and/or vaccines, please consult your local medical authorities. All right, now that we got that mess out of the way, where have we been, Aiden? What have we been doing?
A lot of things. We've been out and about. I have decided to do a new sport, wrestling.
Hmm.
We've also had the Disney parks, obviously, as you could see by my wonderful R3C4 right here, and DO and BB8.
Yeah, so
So,
the
yeah,
you were doing jujitsu before, and jujitsu was taking up
like
maybe
three
3 days
days
a
out
week.
of the, like 3, 4.
Yeah, we had like 3 days a week, and wrestling for the school is 5 days a week, and then also the tournament on Saturday. So,
It's 6 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
well, Saturday, 5 days a week of practice, and then you have the tournament on Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
So it monopolizes pretty much the entire week. The only day off we had was Sunday, and we have to get caught up on everything else on Sundays. And a lot of times, your brother, because he's on the swim team, is actually swimming on Sunday. So
Yeah.
our time was just completely monopolized, and we just were not able to get anything going. So there you are at your this was your very first wrestling match.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yep. So that's partly part of where we have been. And then also we had the Disney trip that happened a few weeks back. And day one of that trip was Epcot. What were
Yeah.
your now you've never been to Epcot. I've been multiple times in my life. What did you think? Hey Mark, how's it going? What did you think of Epcot?
So, Epcot wasn't bad in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't the best though. Um, in no Duplo, it is not a golf ball. That is actually the Epcot ball. Although I do admit I called it the golf ball when
It
we were
does look
there.
like a golf ball, but yeah.
It just looks like it could take like a
Why do you
giant.
keep smacking today? Yeah, that's awful. Don't do that.
No, I can't even talk today.
Yeah, let's stop that. Hey, Muddy Hawk, how's it going? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that jazz.
Be hard
Glad to see you.
past.
So what we're doing here, yeah. So day one was Epcot, and I gotta tell you,
It wasn't the best day.
yeah, I was disappointed. This was probably the most frustrating day of the entire trip because
45 minutes to get a hot dog for starters.
it took forever to get food or even find food. It seems like, and maybe it's not, but it seemed like half the kind of if you go to Disney, there's the restaurants and then there's the carts on the side that sell like the hot dogs and the finger foods and stuff like that. You couldn't find the stuff. And then when you did, you were in line for 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes to get drinks or a pretzel. It was insane. Um, A lot of things were. It seemed like everything was almost everything was open. I know you guys
Yeah.
rode. You got on the rides pretty quickly though. Like test track, you guys did, and then
Yeah.
the mission was it Mission to Mars?
Mission Space.
Mission to Space. That's what it was.
That Mission Space,
That was a pretty cool ride.
highly, in my opinion, highly underrated. I absolutely love Mission Space. I know a lot of people don't, but then again, it does make a lot of people nauseous, so I'm not surprised. But
Yeah, it was a pretty cool ride. Go.
so another thing, another ride was Journey into Your Imagination. That one was pretty good. I actually thought that one broke for a second, but
Yeah, that one wasn't. It wasn't terrible. They don't have a ton of rides compared to the other parks at Epcot. Normally I go there because you can get food from around the world. I was a little disappointed this time. The food options were way less than what I remembered before. So the German food was literally like
it wasn't
sausage
real
and fries.
German.
Yeah, it was not what I expected. So that was Epcot, and let's see, Mighty Hawk is saying, glad to see you guys back. Happy holidays. What are you guys planning to do on Christmas? We have family coming in town. My parents are going to be here for Christmas. So
Yeah.
we're going to spend Christmas with my parents. Day two was the one that we really were looking forward to. And you had mentioned we should have done this for 2 days. I agree. It's not really a big park. So Disney Studios is not as big as Disney or as big as Magic Kingdom. There's more to do than there was at Epcot. Uh, your aunt actually recommended that we should have gone to Animal Kingdom. Last time I went to Animal Kingdom, though, it was not that great. So I don't know. Maybe next time we go back, we do Animal Kingdom and do this for maybe a couple days instead of one. But this was a cool place. The I did it that time too. The
Yeah.
the rides here, there's not a lot of rides, but the ones they do have are really cool. I'll just
Yeah.
put it that way. When you walk into this place, it's like being on a movie set. It's really really cool. Day three and day four, we're at the Magic Kingdom. What were your favorite rides at the Magic Kingdom?
My favorite rides at the Magic Kingdom, I think, would be, you know, my favorite rides at the Magic.
One is
Um,
Space Mountain.
yeah, I would say
Still,
Space Mountain is definitely number one for
Space
Disney.
Mountain, Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, I would say that I forgot what it was called. What's the one with the 50-foot drop? Oh, sorry, table. The one with the 50-foot drop that went all the way down as the water ride.
Oh,
Like, it
the,
wasn't Mr.
I
Toad.
know what you're talking about, the water ride. Uh, no, it wasn't Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad's gone. Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
I would say Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, and Thunder Mountain, and that is not in any particular order.
Yeah, and what was really neat, so the castles that you see on the screen, this is the same day. And this is all done with lighting, which is really cool. So they can change the look and feel of this castle with just lights. And when they do the fireworks, they it looked really really cool. They had the one thing I didn't care for was the wire. So there's a wire coming off. If you're looking at the screen, it's off the right side of the screen. When they do the fireworks, there's a wire that goes all the way to the ground from the top of one of the towers. And they had what I believe is supposed to be Tinkerbell rappelling down the wire, and it was a little weird, if I'm being honest with you. It didn't really it didn't work for me. It was a little strange, but the coloration of the castle is just really neat. um, and the fact that they do all this with lighting and then the fireworks, and they did the same thing with the Tower of Terror over at Disney Studios. They changed that
Epcot
as
Mall.
well, and actually had fake snow at that night too.
Yeah, and they do it with all the main big spots. Like the Epcot Ball had all this cool lighting, and they've turned it, well, planet Earth into actual Earth.
Yeah,
And I think it's really cool how Disney's able to do all this with just projectors and
yeah.
like specific spots and a whole bunch of lighting fixtures and
The
things like
lighting
that.
technology is just awesome. I don't know what else to say about it. You have to see it. You have to see it to understand it, and it's just really cool. I mean, You would never know. The one on the left, where it's like the front towers are dressed up like packages. I mean, you have to get up close to realize that that's actually lights. It's just really cool. Um, we okay. One of our favorite rides is Jungle Cruise.
Favorite in
This is
quotations,
yeah
man.
our favorite ride.
Favorite, best ride ever.
We waited 2 hours to get on this ride to do and see the
The
backside
backside
of
of
water.
water. Like
Um,
this is probably the best thing Disney's ever
this
produced.
is
I mean,
this is a must.
just look at it. It's the backside of water. You can't go wrong with the
We,
backside of
you
water.
know, there's nothing in the park or anywhere in the world that you can experience that is as good as the backside of water.
It was so good that they even had to put the backside of water in the line of Rise of the Resistance. It was that good.
It was that good.
It was that good.
Duplo says it better have been a good ride.
It was the best ride.
Oh, the most amazing,
Ve- Very
fast,
fast, intense, backside of
funny,
water experience you could ever had.
the best jokes ever. It was, yeah.
Yeah, did you know elephants have good memory?
Hey, yeah, let's yeah. And if you guys can't tell that this dialogue is dripping with sarcasm, shame on you. All right. So, we're gonna do a little show and tell now, and we're gonna go through some of the stuffs that we got at Disney Studios and kind of go through some of the experiences that we had because some of them were good, some of them were not as good, and some of them were kind of eh. So,
Let me turn on my good old friend R3C4 here.
so the droid shop was it? It's Sabi's droid shop, right? Is that the name of it?
No, that's the lightsaber.
That's a lightsaber shop. So the droid shop was not like.
Oh,
He just took a BB-8.
don't attack BB-8.
So
It's rude.
now the droid shop was not like the lightsaber build. So the lightsaber build is an experience. When you go in to do the lightsaber, it's like a show. Um, you get a show and a build. You get to build your own lightsaber, and you saw some of that in the intro. The the droid build, you kind of just get in line, you pick out your parts, you go to your station, you build a droid, and you get out of the way because there's a ton of people trying to come in behind you. So it feels a little bit rushed. The droid itself, the quality, the I mean, it is plastic, but it's a decent plastic.
He doesn't like you
Yeah,
taking a
it's a decent plastic. You should probably look at the camera. Yeah, it's a decent plastic. It's not, it doesn't feel super cheap. The one thing that does feel cheap for me
It's
is
not
yeah,
controller.
the controller.
Oh, he's being blocked.
Yeah, the controller feels a little cheap.
Like, the
Um,
buttons and everything, they feel really
the
good, but the
buttons are
actual case itself, though, it's
yeah, the buttons are big,
very
like
heavy.
they made it for 2-year-olds. So it's this is a little bit disappointing, but it works. And the droid itself, again, really cool. You can get the now the droid does not come if you're planning on going. You have to buy the personality chip separately.
Yeah, so
So when they go up, we go up with your parents. Be very careful because there's a price for the droid, and then they'll go, "Do you also want the personality chip?" But they're not telling you that that's an add-on. So just be aware of that. You have to get the personality chip separately, and it is an extra, what is it, 15, $20? Something
yeah,
like that.
$25.
Yeah. So it's an add-on. Also, when you build out your droid, so if you look on here,
Mine's hard to see because it's the same. Mine's hard to see because
all
it's the same
these all
color.
these all these orange pieces,
You have to pay
you
extra
had to
for
buy
that
extra for too.
because they don't come with the orange. It's an extra add-on that you have to have, which I think is
It's too
odd.
right.
I think it's odd in my opinion to have an orange head but not have the orange pieces, but
Yeah, so you have to depending on the color and the combination that you get, obviously there's an R2 unit and there's a BB unit, so you kind of get to pick and choose. Your brother did a different one.
yeah, he did. I
So
don't even
he
know.
did an R2 unit too, but it's a different color.
Yeah, I don't even know where he put his.
So that was really cool. The other thing that we got that we kind of picked up in the park that I thought was kind of neat is these cups. Now the disappointing thing about this is these are not refillable.
Nope.
So you can buy them, but they're not free refills. Matter of fact, there was nowhere in any of the parks where you could buy a cup and refill it all day like you used to be able to. I know for a fact you used to be able to do that, but you can't do that
Yeah,
now.
and these BB-8 cups, these were next to like an ice cream stand in Hollywood Studios, right? And
They're
this
really cool
was
souvenirs.
also in a store in Hollywood Studios.
Yep.
Actually, I almost dropped that. It shows it at the bottom. Let's see if I could get that to zoom
You're
in.
on the wrong camera to do that.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do it on that camera.
I could do it later. That's good. And another thing I wanted to say, because I heard a lot of people at the parks talking about this, and on YouTube, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I just want to clarify what this button does. Oh, that is not what that button does. Yeah, before I go to that, the droids, they have like a mind of their own. Um, so we could leave them alone for a little bit, they'll just randomly start moving. The droids do that. And if you have two next to each other, they will talk to each other sometimes. They do that. Anyways, back to the thing before he just went psycho. This button right here, if
Okay.
okay, so this button right here, even though it seems like it does nothing, this button only works if you buy an extra attachment. Like if you were to get the blasters for the droid and take these side pieces off, this button would activate those blasters. But since I didn't get any of the extras here, it does nothing. I just wanted to clarify that so then there's no more confusion about this button here. Although this one, right below it, this one, it makes him talk. So he could talk. These buttons, self-explanatory. He moves. And these buttons over here move the head. It's the same with every droid model. And they also come with this instruction manual booklet, just in case if you don't know how to use the controller.
And this is your brother's. So your brother's droid here is blue, and he had the same situation where he had to buy the extra pieces because he didn't get enough of them. They're all the same color. They're all same the design that he wanted.
The only colors that it comes with is red, black, and blue. So anything like orange, green, silver,
White.
white, those are all extras. And if they don't have the color you want on the plastic, you have to buy the stickers. And you have to put stickers on there.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for anything like unique colors, it's gonna be a sticker probably.
Yeah. So the droids themselves were super cool. The experience was just kind of
It's kind of eh.
yeah.
It's okay. It's not bad, but it feels kind of rushed.
Yeah, it does. It felt rushed because there were people just trying to get in. There's people in line behind you. Um, reminds me of dial-up sounds. Haha. So yeah, it's it was the droids were cool, but the experience was just kind of eh. Now compare that to the lightsaber build.
So that
Yeah, let's pull that out. So the lightsaber build was a different creature because that is kind of like if you saw the intro, it's kind of like a show and a build, and you're in there with just a set number of people, and you're all building. But before you go in, the experience is actually really neat because where's the medallion?
okay, I shall show you the scrap metal.
Yeah, let me switch this over real quick.
Yeah, by the way, something really cool about this park is that they'll call money like credits and they'll call certain things like actual Star Wars terms, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, I don't understand the whole Bright Suns thing, but the whole, like, entire thing on how they do that's pretty cool. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get the
yeah, go
lightsaber.
ahead and get the lightsaber. I was trying to read something here. I'm gonna add, we've never had to do this before. I'm kind of bummed that I have to do it, but I'm gonna set, you got some spam bots in here. So Mighty Hawk, there you go. When you go in to build your saber, they ask you what design you want to build. And Mighty Hawk, you're the moderator. Um, and once you decide what uh what user, or not what user, but what design you want to build, they give you one of these.
And it's different for each lightsaber.
Yeah, so
So,
it's different for each lightsaber.
like, personally, I got power and control, so I have a power and control medallion and lightsaber hilt.
Yep. So each one of these has different positives and negatives and all that good stuff. So this was really cool. I did not know that you were going to get to keep this, but they take you when you go in, they pin this on you, and then when you go into the room, and I think there's, I don't even know if it was 20. I want to say max there was 20 people in there. You sit around a table, and
It's like a shaped.
yeah, it's like an oval shaped table. You sit around the table and they bring you the pieces that are specific to your hilt, but everybody's hilt can be different too. So there's a base for your hilt, and then there's the parts you choose and pick from. And the I was really actually kind of impressed when we get back to the main camera.
This is like a sturdy steel hilt here.
It's aluminum. Yeah,
Oh,
it's aluminum, but it's a really nice metal. I don't know if you guys, it's really hard to kind of translate on camera, but let me back off this for a minute. There we go. So this has actually got some weight to it, and the pieces that are in here, the sound that comes out of it, not,
that's because it's a yellow crystal, though.
yeah,
Like, if you get different colors in there, it makes different sounds.
yeah, they make different noises. And it was a really neat experience because they go through the story. The guy that did ours was really good. It was probably one of the most pleasant experiences that we've had. um
Can you make the dark saber? Um, no, the dark saber is a specialty pre-made thing. So for the dark saber, you can't take out the crystal like you can this one. And that one you don't make. That one you buy at the shop.
yeah, that
I
one's
made
a
this one.
yeah, that's a pre-made one. But I tell you what, for the price difference between buying one that's pre-made versus buying one that you're building yourself, it was worth the show and the experience to build it yourself. And the other thing that was a lot of people don't know is when you buy it, yeah, when you buy
I
it
think I have.
already made, um, when you buy it already made, you get the hilt, but then you have to buy the top part separately. That doesn't come with it, and then you have to buy your crystal as well. So it's not much more of a deal. I mean, it's actually a little bit more expensive to build it on to buy it already made,
Speaking of that,
and it's not customized to what you
yeah,
wanted. So
it's not customized. There's actually two versions of the lightsaber hilt. This is the small version. So this is the smallest like actual blade that you could get. Although although there is a bigger blade that's about like way bigger.
put these on because you're going in and out of the microphone.
Oh, sorry. I'm just like
Yeah, you're like screaming 1 minute and then I can't hear you the next.
so there are two versions of the blade. We have the smaller, like normal version they give you, although there is a bigger version if you like to buy it. But I don't really see the point in that. This is already pretty big in itself.
The bonus
So
with this, so the bonus with this one that was also cool is it comes with a case. So it comes with a soft case that is to protect it. And that was actually really cool. That was a nice little add-on to it. Now, the downside is the droids did not come with a case. They shoved it into a bag.
yeah, they put it into like a
Didn't come with a box. Yeah, didn't come with a box.
normal Disney bag.
Didn't have the backpacks. They were sold out of those. And they just put it into a Disney bag. So that was kind of a bummer there. But
You gotta be careful when you do it. You gotta be careful too because the bags will rip.
the bags break. And with these, the downside is if there's one downside to this is you got to make sure you know which end is up. Because if you put this thing on your back and this thing here is not closed properly, it will fall out and slam your lightsaber into the ground. So when we did both of these, as soon as they were done, we just walked back out to the parking lot and put them in the vehicle so that we wouldn't have to deal with it. But just kind of FYI, if you guys head out that way and plan on doing something like this. All right, so I'm going to jump back over to the discussion real quick. And Genie. Okay, yeah, so we had to deal with Genie, the Genie app now. Um, I hated it. I'm sorry, Disney. I hated it. I had a feeling before we went, and if you watch our previous video on our pre-Disney trip, We kind of had some expectations set by watching other YouTubers.
Our only negative video that we've ever
Yeah,
made.
it's like the only negative video that we've made, and I gotta tell you, it sucks the battery. If you have, because it appears to use Bluetooth, it appears to use Wi-Fi, um, and the Wi-Fi in the park is not always good, and you can't always get an LTE signal or a 5G signal. So their phone is constantly using one of those three radios. So by 2 o'clock, and I've got my phone is a 13. It's an iOS 13. By 2:30, the phone was almost dead. And everybody had this problem. It wasn't just us. The app crashed multiple times a day. It was not accurate. It would tell you that something was a 45 minute line and it was actually 15, or vice versa. It was a 15-minute line and it would tell you that it was 45. The recommendations were not always the best. It feels very forced. You you kind of feel like you have to use it. Mighty Hawk Genie is an app.
Genie, Genie is
It's
Disney's
built, yeah,
new
yeah, it's
service to try to minimize as much time and get the best experience ever.
Yeah, if
Movie
you
Disney
they
experience.
have this app now that is built into the Disney app. It's part of the Disney app, and it's a horrible design. Oh, it just crashed. Yeah, right there, it just crashed. So it's you have to use it to if you so Fast Pass is gone. If you've never been, Fast Pass used to be where you could walk up. They had like you could put your ticket in this machine. It would give you another ticket back, and it would give you a time frame on it. You could come back in that time frame, and you could ride the ride and get the Fast Pass lane, which was faster than standing in the regular lane. That was free. They got rid of it, and now you have to pay to get into the Fast Pass lane. It's $15 a day if you want to ride the normal rides, and if you want to ride the cool rides, it's per ride. So in our case, um, Rise of the Resistance, for instance, was $15 a person if you wanted to pay to get on that ride. If you have a party of nine, that's really expensive.
So,
So you have to pay for it now, and you have to do it through the Genie service. It also has the Genie service has recommendations. It has places to eat, and you can order food. In some cases, you can actually order product too.
so
But none of those things work as well as you would expect them to. The food was the worst, one of the worst experiences, and they're forcing it. So there are restaurants now you can't even order from. Um, you actually have to order mobile or you don't eat there. And if you try to go in a building that is mobile order only, you get barked at, and we'll get to that here in a minute shortly. But my overall experience with the app was not that great. The app is not designed very well. It's not intuitive. It's just for me, it was just a mess.
So think about it as like the EA genie.
Yeah,
It grants you one wish for a price,
yeah,
and then the next 2 hours it'll grant you another one for a
yeah,
price.
it was not the greatest experience.
DLC.
It is.
Is it too close or too far?
Yeah, it's throwing a shadow on your face. It looks horrid. So
Sorry.
we got some good and bad. We did have fun. I want to make sure that we emphasize that. We did have fun. We were with family, so regardless of the park and how they were trying to navigate how they kind of want you to navigate the experience, we had fun.
Plus, we went on Space Mountain.
Yeah, we went on
Can't
Space
go wrong with
Mountain
that.
multiple times. The lightsaber experience, like you said, that was incredible. Absolutely recommend doing that. If you're going to do it, build your own. I really think that's the way to go. The droid build was kind of neutral. Again, we felt rushed. It wasn't, there's no show really with it. If you ever, I don't know how old everybody watching is, but they used to have cars. Like in Disneyland, there was a cars area where you could go in and you could build an RC car based on the movie Cars. And you would go in and you actually built your own car. You put your wheels together, you had your chassis, you had your hood, you had the ornaments and everything you did. But it really wasn't a show. You just go in and build your car, you pay for it and leave. That's the same experience you get with a droid. So it's cool, but it also felt rushed. You were in a queue, you felt like you were being funneled in. It was a little off. Rise of the Resistance was I didn't get to go, but everybody that went said that it was phenomenal. It
It
was awesome and unlike anything they'd ever experienced.
The technology in that ride is absolutely amazing. It's awesome. The whole like it's amazing how much they're able to do in that ride.
Yeah, I
It's
saw the
just
pictures of it and I saw the
mind-blowing.
videos of it, and it looked so sweet. Smuggler's Run, I did do, and that was a really cool ride, but I think it could have been better. The controls that you use to fly the Falcon,
Like I said, he
yeah,
talks in by himself.
the
So
controls you use to the fly the Falcon are a little loose, I guess you would say. So you expect it to kind of respond when you turn and when you go up and down, and it's really slow to respond to those things. So that was a little bit of a little bit of a downer, but the overall experience was actually really good. Long lines, yes, absolutely horrendously long lines. We had like I said, for the backside of water and Jungle Cruise, that line was 2 hours long. Um,
it was worth it though. I mean, the backside of water, you can't go wrong with that.
yeah, well, the best time to go is like as soon as you get in the park, you go straight to what you want to do and you go. And that's kind of why we did Disney on day 3 and day 4 because Disney's so big. And I knew that we would want opportunities to either do things twice or do things that we missed. And that absolutely was the case. Some of the rides, like some of them haven't, I swear they haven't changed since I went way back in the day. Your grandmother made us ride It's a Small World, I did not ride the teacups.
You escaped.
I
You
escaped the
escaped.
teacups. Yeah, I escaped the teacups. Um, yeah, the fast pass replacement is super expensive for like if you have a large family that's going. And yeah, I just felt cheated. I felt like they were milking everybody for every little dollar. It did not feel.
Like the happiest place on
Yeah, it
earth.
was a different experience, and I'm getting to that next. Yeah, there's just a bad experience with the Genie and Genie Plus all around. When you go to order food, you order the food on your phone, and then you have to go to the restaurant, and then you have to hit a button that says "I'm here, make my food," and then it tells you that it's ready. Then you have to go and get in line, and if you try to go in before you've ordered the food, you will get barked at. I have never been yelled at, barked at, as much as I was during this trip at a
Yeah.
Disney park. I've never experienced that before. There were some super grumpy cast members the entire time we were there. I think a lot of that has to do with everybody being masked up and not being able to see each other's faces. That's just my opinion.
And and then
Um,
sometimes with
if you
this,
didn't read it, or if you didn't see the intro, please go back. There's a disclaimer. We're not giving medical advice. We have to do this because if you just mention the word COVID, YouTube does weird things. Facebook, Twitter, everybody gets their panties in a twist and we get in trouble. So there's a disclaimer at the beginning. We're not giving advice. We're just reporting on our experience that we saw when we were there. And I saw more grumpy people barking at park goers than I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, I don't think I've ever gone to any theme park and have gotten in trouble about anything really.
Yeah, I mean
And
they were not nice about it.
there's even several times where I'd get told to wear a mask in outdoor areas for
Yeah.
themed rides.
And it wasn't
And
consistently, and I think we're gonna get there in a second. We'll get to that in just a second.
okay,
The parking staff was really friendly. They actually had I had a guy, I was a girl actually, two of them chased me down to give me a medallion to thank me for my service. That was a really cool experience.
do you have
Um, no, it's actually downstairs. The
one?
lightsaber customer service. So the lightsaber that we originally built had issues.
It's like a
That,
rainbow change
yeah,
colors randomly.
that night I contacted customer service via email, and the next day they had already shipped out a replacement to the house. So the customer service for the lightsaber was bar none. It was really good.
Don't know where it is, but I have a recording on my phone of me turning it on. It was like a rainbow saber, like every second it would be a new color. and it
Yeah,
randomly turned off. It's actually pretty cool looking,
yeah,
but
it had some issues, and there was nothing that we did that was fixing it. Went through all the troubleshooting steps, and they were really good about getting us a replacement. It was just the base of the hilt. They send us a replacement, take all the parts off the old one, put all the parts on the new one, light it up, everything was good to go. The COVID policies, hence, please go back and see our disclaimer. I'm going to say it one more time. So, YouTube, we did put a disclaimer in here. We are not giving advice. This is just our opinion on the policies in place at the park. They were not uniformly applied. It was ridiculous, in my opinion. They would herd 500 to 1,000 people into a really small area to let them into the park where they are inches away from each other. Granted, I get it, they're outdoors, but then you go into the park and you're in line, again, inches away from each other, no mask required. The
nope.
minute you step foot inside, you're getting barked at. Please put on your mask, put on your mask, put on your mask. I mean, it was all day long. And it was very it wasn't very pleasant at all. And I get that they're having to do this and they're responsible for making sure that it happens, but they're also in the customer service business. And yelling at people all day, it's just not a good experience. And then on top of that, to go through and I'll skip down to where eating was a pain. They're forcing the mobile ordering, so you're getting yelled at for walking into a restaurant or walking into the wrong entrance because it's the mobile order entrance when there's a bathroom right there.
But
You got to go to the restroom and they're hassling you about, did you do a mobile order? And you're like, I could care less about food right now. I need to use that restroom.
but then again, there's also some restaurants where you need to eat their mobile orders like illegal.
Yeah.
Like there's some
Yeah, there was a
it's
restaurant. There
like
was a sandwich that we wanted. I think it was the Monte Cristo.
somebody Cristo.
Yeah, and we wanted to go to that restaurant, buy a Monte Cristo sandwich, and just take it outside and eat it. You couldn't mobile order. You couldn't make reservations, or you couldn't. I'm sorry, you couldn't just
You
walk
need
in. You had to
reservation.
have a
You
reservation.
could
You could only eat that sandwich in that restaurant. So you didn't know that until you got to the restaurant all the way on the other side of the park and ask them. So yeah, it was a little frustrating with the food situation. We made it work and we tried to eat outside the park for dinner. So that helped out a lot. But yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, has created grumpy cast members. We already talked about that. Does not appear to have any impact on the number of people in the park. It was packed. It was absolutely Epcot was not that bad, but Disney Studios and Disney World were absolutely packed with people. I don't believe that the reservation system that they have, and that still frustrates me. The reservation system they have is not to limit the number of people; it's to let them know how many people are coming to the park, so they know how many people to bring into the park that day to work there. Is what I think is happening, because there's no way that they were capping the number of people that were in that park. It was
There was a
wall to
lot.
wall people. So, and then COVID policies, poor design. I don't know why that says poor design. I think the guy who wrote the slide copy and pasted this from another slide and made a mistake. So we will need to talk to that guy.
I wonder who
Um,
that is.
our giveaway winner was Mark Z. Our last giveaway was how many Jeeps
How many
appear?
real
Yeah, how
real
many
Jeeps have appeared in every single one of our
in
videos?
any of our videos? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in any of our videos, how many real Jeeps were there? Mark figured that out, and Mark, congratulations. And
Congratulations. Do I give away the answer now?
yes, what was the answer?
So, out of all the people, I know there were some people who did guess, but the answer was 9. I went through every single video and I spent countless hours like grinding through our videos. There were 9. I actually went through and even slowed it down to point like 25 speed just to slow mo and make sure a jeep didn't pass by during one of the cut through one of the
Yeah.
scenes. And then I went into a video editor. I made it even slower because it was too fast. So
Yeah,
I
so it was
made
not
sure every single jeep
it
was
took a
pointed
it
in the
took a
video.
while for somebody to get that, and I know it was a hard question, but there was 50 bucks on the line, so it wasn't going to be an easy question.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that you guys finally got that, and we'll do something again here shortly. I don't know when we'll do it, maybe after the new year, but congratulations, Mark. And now, oh, it's mock time. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras here.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, look how weird that looks. Boom, there we go.
okay, so recently I've been on like a brickhead craze, and I still am. I've been building a lot of brickheads. I found them really fun to build. So I've been building a lot of them, and I think I have four right now. So I'm gonna start with some.
Oops,
Drop the pin.
I got,
Okay,
I
so I'm
got it.
gonna start with the oldest ones to the newest ones. Now, some of these, if you follow my Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen one of these already, but you haven't seen. You have, but you haven't. So every single brickhead I make, there's a prototype and then the actual finished product. So far, three of these finished products, and one of these is still a prototype. So I'm gonna start with my first one, Mr. Mario over here. I can't say that. Yeah, I can. So here he is, Mr. Mario here. He is probably my favorite video game character. He has good games. Um, this was really fun to build. I think the most challenging part of this was the hat. Definitely that cartoony looking hat was really difficult to make. Um, the the actual overall area, I used a cool building technique, but I'm not gonna show that right now. That might be like a show or something. I'm not sure because well, I'd have to decapitate Mario to show you that. And next is the one my dad defends with his life for some reason. He won't let me destroy this. I don't like it very much, but
I get frustrated when you build me things and then decide that you're gonna, steal parts from it to make something else. If you're gonna build it for me, it's mine.
this would have already been turned into Mario's brother Luigi already if it wasn't for him. So you could go in the comments and thank him
Yeah,
for
and in
making
case
the
you,
Chiefs alive here.
if you do not know, this is Master Chief from Halo.
I just said that, but okay,
I'm
that
repeating
works.
it.
So I wasn't gonna give him the sword, but I saw those pieces of my extra parts, and I was like, that just fits too well, not to be the sword from Halo. So I gave him that.
And these are all mocks, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we
So
put up the slide, but just to let everybody know.
these are not official in any way. These are
Mhm.
not secret Lego prototypes hidden deep within the walls of Lego or anything like that.
No, I don't think Lego owns the IP for this. So
For Halo.
yeah, so this is definitely not a Lego kit. I'm waiting for you to get to you're gonna do that one, the egg one last, right?
They weren't supposed to know that.
Oh, they don't know what it is yet. So show that.
The egg one, okay.
Yeah, do that one.
I built a brickhead scrambled egg.
This one I really like.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite one that I've made. This Sonic here. I based it off of Sonic 1, so it is the classic Sonic. You know, your traditional Sonic the Hedgehog. I took several photos to make the back and to make the front, and I actually, this one I could actually show you. I used a special piece to invert the side of the studs, and I used a upside down 2x2 round plate because if you've ever seen like the Sonic TV shows or like Sonic Mania, any like Sonic CD stuff where they show Sonic at a side angle, it shows that classic Sonic here has a stomach. He got a big stomach. And why is that not fitting right, you may ask? I don't know. I actually think I built that. Okay, I put that on incorrectly. Would you like to talk while I fix this very quickly?
Yeah, so Sonic is excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Sonic. You did two versions of this. One of them was a mock, and one
They're
of
both MOCS.
well, sorry, one of them was a prototype. One of them was the final one. In the first one that you did, the ears were a little bit further up on the edges. And did you just use your teeth,
No, you saw
dude?
nothing.
Dude, don't let your mama see that. It'll get me in trouble. So yeah, so we there you go. So it did change a little bit from mock to mock, but I think this one turned out really well. I like the back of the hair. I like the hair that you did in the back.
Yeah,
I
if you
like the way you styled that.
see the prototype, go onto my Instagram, because he looks more like a porcupine. I because the last time I tried to make Sonic, I used several different photos, but not as many, right? And I knew Sonic didn't have that much hair on the back, but just because I made him he looked more like a porcupine, like a thick porcupine. Just the way he was built. It was the same dimensions, but he didn't look as slim. So I actually made a 360 on that one too. But just the hair, he looked overall more like a porcupine and wasn't very happy with it. So I went back, I added some more, I decapitated his head again, and I made him look like a hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog. Supposedly he's the fastest thing alive. He could travel faster than the speed of light.
There's your yeah,
Wow, that is convenience. Oh yeah,
wrong
I'm
camera.
just gonna. So this last one is still a prototype. Um, if some of you guys want to guess who this is, you could try. Um, I'm not necessarily very happy with this one. Okay, this this is supposed to be Eggman or Dr. Robotnik as he's called in the game. He's good, but I like to put him inside of his little eggmobile because this eggmobile kind of like hides a lot of the overall look and it just makes him look better. So, but there we go. There he is. There he is in his little eggmobile. I'm really happy with how the actual vehicle turned out. I think it looks really good for what it is.
Yeah,
I really like this.
I'm not a huge Sonic. I don't play a lot of Sonic, you know that. But I
Yeah.
did see the movie and I thought it was really neat because I knew what this was when you brought it out. I mean, it was obvious to me. Now, granted, I didn't know him as Eggman. I only knew him as Dr. Robotnik,
His
which
original
yeah,
name.
that was the only one I remembered. But
People thought that was too difficult to remember, so they renamed him to Eggman
yeah, Eggman's a little weird to me. I don't know why.
because he looks like an egg.
Yeah, it's just a little odd. So, but that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going
Yep.
to let me start off by thank you, Mighty Hawk, for being our moderator today. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, sir. Congratulations again to Mark. Thank you, Duplo, for joining. We are going to try to do, I'm going to try to do, I want to do an end of the year roundup uh, um, before the New Year's if I can. We do have a lot going on. We have a little bit of break here, so maybe it's something we can throw together over the next week or so. And then our wrestling season ends at the end of January. So between now and then, we may be hit or miss, but we will try to get as much out as we can. And yeah,
We
so
might full time in like February, kind of.
yeah, full time back again on a weekly basis, probably in February. So between now and then, we'll get in as much as we can, but we are crazy busy. So that's all I have, eh?
Okay. Well, in that case, okay, you're not gonna put anything weird at the end of this one, right? I'm not gonna say bye, and you're not gonna put any weird
You know,
photos,
I
right?
debated, there is one that I debated on doing, but I'm not going to do it.
You tell me what is it?
It was, so we did make you go back at the end of that last video. It was you pulling the sword and, yeah, that was the sword. And we got another picture of you pulling the sword at Disney World. So I got the two of those side by side. But, yeah, I won't do that to you.
Who won the 1K giveaway?
There was the 1K giveaway. I have to go back and look. Mighty Hawk, I don't remember.
I don't remember
Yeah,
either.
that was a while back, and I just, for the life of me, I don't remember who it was. We've got the list out here somewhere, so we'll have to
Well,
dig up the spreadsheet and check it out.
just in case if we're not able to make another video before Christmas, I would like to say Merry Christmas, and I'd like to thank everybody so much for watching. Good night.
See it.